If you were one of the millions completely hooked by that first season, that incredible mix of, high-stakes action and deep-cut history, then the wait has been just brutal. We are, of course, talking about The Elusive Samurai. The hype for Season 2 has been absolutely off the charts, and now, finally, we have some real answers. So our mission today is simple. We're going to take all the announcements, all the chatter, and just break it down into what you actually need to know. We're going beyond the headline.
And let's just cut right to it. The single biggest piece of information, the one everyone's been waiting for, is the date. We have a confirmed premiere for Season 2 of The Elusive Samurai. It is set for July 2026.
Yeah, that was the huge reveal at Jump Festa 2026. It completely electrified the room. For the fans, that date is everything.
Okay, let's unpack this. July 2026. That gives us something to circle on the calendar, but wow, it also shows you just how much patience is required here. I mean, when you really look at the timeline, this has been a long time coming. The first thrilling announcement that we were even getting as Season 2 was way back in October 2024.
So we're looking at almost a full 2 years between the green light and the air date. That tells you something. It speaks to the complexity of what they're doing. They're taking their time to get this right.
It's a huge period of just sustained excitement. And while the date was the big news, the thing that really got people talking was what came with it, a stunning new visual.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And this visual introduces a new character who is clearly going to be central to everything. The name you need to remember is Sasaki Mima.
Sasaki Mima. See, that's where my brain starts going into overdrive.
Yeah.
Because so much of the story so far has been about Hojo Tokiyuki's complete isolation, right? His whole strategy is operating from the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
So what does a big new character like that even mean for him? Is she going to be a new ally, maybe a new pillar of support, or is she the one adversary he just hasn't seen coming?
And that's the billion-dollar question. I mean, ally or enemy, that one decision will probably set the tone for the entire season. Tokiyuki is trying to reclaim his birthright against, impossible odds. Sometimes the biggest threat isn't the army on the horizon.
It's the one brilliant person standing in your way.
Exactly. If Mima is a rival, then all the mind games we saw in Season 1 are about to be turned up to 11. If she's an ally, well, that completely changes the game. It means the show is moving from pure survival, the fugitive stage, into something more like an offensive, a revolution. But to really get the scale here, we have to go back to the source material, which is just, it's so rich.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Before we look forward, we have to look back at where it all started.
So the creator, the architect of this whole saga is the veteran mangaka Yusei Matsui. He's just brilliant at blending these huge high-stakes scenarios with surprisingly deep character moments. The manga itself first started running in Weekly Shonen Jump back in January 2021, and that's important context because it shows you just how fast this series blew up. To go from a debut to a confirmed second season in just a few years is, well, it's a testament to its quality.
And when you say quality, you're talking about a deep, deep well of content.
Yeah.
For anyone looking to jump into the source material while they wait for July 2026, there are currently 23 volumes out. That is a ton of story.
A huge amount.
Which lets us sort of guess at the pacing for Season 2, right? If the first season was about the escape and finding allies...
Yeah, survival mode.
Right, survival mode. Then Season 2 has to be about the next phase, the first real strategic moves to, push back against the new regime.
Yeah.
It's an active rebellion.
And practically speaking, if you want to get your hands on that story in English, VIZ Media has been publishing it. So it's really accessible for everyone to see just what the anime team is working with.
Speaking of the team, let's pivot to the animation side.
Mm-hmm.
Because a story this big needs an amazing studio, and the expectations are, well, they're sky high. We're talking about CloverWorks.
The powerhouse.
They have this reputation for just delivering insane quality. So what is it about the specific team they've assembled for The Elusive Samurai that makes you feel confident they can nail the feel of, 14th century Japan?
Well, it's this great mix of proven talent and some really interesting, fresh perspectives. You start with the director, Yuta Yamazaki. He's helming this massive historical epic, but his last big gig was as assistant director on Wonder Egg Priority.
Oh, wow. That's a very different kind of show.
A very different show. But that's what makes it so interesting. Wonder Egg Priority was this visual masterpiece, right? It was surreal, emotional, incredibly intense. And for a story like this one, which lives and dies on these quiet moments of desperation and sudden brutal action, Yamazaki's background suggests this won't just look good, it will feel powerful.
That's a great point. It's not just about drawing samurai, it's about getting inside the head of a kid who has lost everything.
Precisely. And then you have the person holding it all together. The series composition is handled by Yuriko Tomita. Her job is to take those 23 volumes of manga and translate them into a coherent, well-paced season of television.
And of course, the character designs are so important in a historical piece.
Oh, absolutely. That's Yasushi Nishia. He's the one bridging Matsui's original art with what we see on screen. And the designs have to work on so many levels. They need to feel historically accurate for the period, but also be clear and readable during a chaotic battle. That team Yamazaki, Tomita, and Nishia, that's a rock-solid foundation.
And we can't forget the sound. An epic like this needs an epic score. The music is from Akiyuki Tateyama and the musical duo GEMBI.
Right.
And the sources specifically said the music is designed to resonate deeply with emotion. That tells me they get it. This isn't just background noise for sword fights. The music has to sell the weight of Tokiyuki's entire quest.
Which is the perfect segue to the core of this whole thing, the history. You really can't appreciate what's happening without understanding the context. The whole story, the entire narrative, is anchored in one very specific, very chaotic year, 1333.
And 1333 isn't just some random date. I mean, this is the beginning of the end for an entire system of power. The whole world of the series is defined by one single fact. The Kamakura shogunate is on the brink of collapse.
To give you a bit of context, the shogunate had ruled Japan for over a century. It was a military government, and the Hojo clan, Tokiyuki's family, was in charge. So when we say it's collapsing, we mean the entire political and military order is just vanishing.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The thing that triggers this collapse isn't an invasion or a natural disaster. It's betrayal. A stunning act of betrayal from within. We're talking about Ashikaga Takauji. The source material calls him a loyal vassal turned traitor. This was a guy who was supposed to be one of the regime's most trusted commanders.
And he flips. He turns on the very people he swore to protect, and that single act ignites the rebellion that brings everything crashing down.
Exactly. And in the middle of all that chaos, you have our hero, Hojo Tokiyuki, the young rightful heir to the shogunate. But because of Takauji's rebellion, he's forced to flee the massacre of his family. He becomes a fugitive.
Which is why he's so elusive. He can't fight with an army. He has to survive with his wits.
And he doesn't escape alone. His survival depends on this one crucial ally, a Shinto priest named Suwa Yorishige.
Right, which is such a fascinating choice. He's not just a bodyguard. He's a spiritual guide, a mentor. In a world where all political loyalty has just evaporated, Tokiyuki's main ally is a man of faith.
It's the perfect dynamic. It sets up the entire series. Tokiyuki's goal is to reclaim his birthright, but he has to do it from the shadows. He has to be smarter, faster, and more clever than everyone else.
He's not charging into battle. He is patiently, brilliantly orchestrating a counter-revolution.
So as we're all looking ahead to July 2026, there is homework you can do. If you're new to the series or just want a refresher, Crunchyroll is streaming the entire first season in all its glory. You have plenty of time to catch up. We've covered a lot today, from the premiere date all the way to the 1333 historical setting. So what does this all mean? What's the big takeaway for Season 2?
It means we're moving past survival and into true conflict. The production team is perfect for it. The story is escalating. We're about to watch this kid fight for his very identity against an enemy that wants to erase his family from history. But the final thought I want to leave you with, the thing to really chew on while you wait, comes back to that initial betrayal. Ashikaga Takauji. The source calls him a loyal vassal turned traitor. So here's the question. In a time when a whole regime is failing, is an act of betrayal like that just a selfish grab for power? Or is it sometimes a necessary evil to build a new world? Think about how the story frames his actions, because that definition of loyalty is going to drive everything in the chapters to come.